Hey AP Java students, I am sitting down with my desktop ready to take the mock exam question number 2 and attempt to do it in the demo space of the practice exam. So I'm going to use the timer. I'm going to read the question for the first time. I have grazed over it briefly just to see what it was about, but I haven't actually read all the details and thought about the answer yet. So this is going to be a truly real-time demonstration of me taking the exam. I've got side-by-side windows of the exam place where the exam space, the demo. And then in this window, I've got my question so that I can read through it, my resources in another tab, and my Java quick reference in a third tab. And I think that's all I want. Where am I going to put my answers is in Notepad. So I have got a Notepad file set up, ready for me to type my answers when I get to that point, and then copy and paste them into the demo. So I'm going to time myself. I have put on the wall a little note, do not disturb, so that anybody who comes in the room will know that I don't want to talk about anything. I'm just working on something. And I'm going to set up a timer on my phone to remind me when 25 minutes is up so that I will upload my responses for the first question. I am using mock exam question 2 about hailstone sequence. Okay. So here I go. I'm going to enter my AP ID, which for the demo is just practice. Oh, I have to launch it again because I've played with it before. So here we go. Practice. Okay, welcome to the exam demo. Use your personal information, review ways to submit the responses, read the demo question and submit your response. Read demo question 2 and submit your response. Okay, I'm only going to do demo question 1 because I only have this one question that I want to go over with you today. So I'll just do the first question. Enter your personal information. My exam will begin soon. I have already read these directions before. But just to review, there are different ways to submit your response. You can attach a text file. Okay, so when I'm in Notepad, I could save this as a text file and then upload it here. I could attach a photo, photograph responses that I write by hand. I'm pretty sure you cannot attach a photo of a text, a typed response. If you're going to do a photo, it should be of a written response. Or you can copy and paste. So here's my other application. I'm creating my answer. I can copy and paste it in. So maybe for the first question, I will copy and paste, and then the second question, I'll try writing something by hand, photo uploading it. I think you can change your strategy midway, and I will find out as I do the demo. Okay, it says, oh, there's a timer, which is hidden by my Screencastify tools. Let me see, can I move this up? No. You can hide the timer, or you can show the timer. My timer, oh, I'm going to hide the tools. Okay, there's 2 minutes and 33 seconds till my exam begins. I don't think, even in the demo, you can skip past this and say, I'm ready to go, just let me get started. So I'm going to pause the video until that timer runs down to 0 and I start the exam. Timer, you can show the timer. My timer, oh, I'm going to hide the tools. Okay, there's 2 minutes and 33 seconds till my exam begins. I don't think, even in the demo, you can skip past this and say, I'm ready to go, just let me get started. Okay, my exam is starting. Oh no. It says I have 10 minutes left. Time left to submit work. That can't be right. I only have 10 minutes to, I guess because it's a demo, craft a response and submit it. After 10 minutes, you'll be moved to question 2 and you won't be able to revisit this question. Okay, I'll just do the best that I can. I'm going to read the question, start crafting a response. So here's the question. A mathematical sequence is I know what that is. Here's how the rules are for this sequence. If n is 1, the sequence terminates. If n is even, the next term is n over 2. If n is odd, the next term is 3n plus 1. For this question, assume that when the rules are applied, the sequence will eventually terminate with the term n equals 1. Following examples, hailstone sequences. 5, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. First term is 5, which is odd. So the second term is 3 times 5 plus 1, which is 16. 16 is the second term. That's even, so the next term is 8. 8 is even, so the next term is 4. 4 is even, so the next term is 2, etc. Since the sixth term is 1, the sequence terminates. Okay, example 2. Starting with an even number, 8, it just keeps doing half because that's what the rule is for an even number. And it's only 4 terms, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay, the hailstone class shown below is used to represent hailstone sequence. You will write 3 methods in 10 minutes. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll do the best I can. The class hailstone has a static int method called hailstone length that returns the length of a hailstone sequence that starts with the number n, just like the rules say. Okay, I'm going to do that in part A. Part B is going to be static boolean is long sequence. Returns true if the sequence that starts with n is considered long and false otherwise. described in part B. Okay, returns the proportion of the first n. Okay, prop long. Proportion of long. That's another method that returns the proportion of the first n hailstone sequences that are considered long, as described in part C. So how many sequences, if you make n go from 1 to some number, how many of them will be considered long sequences? Okay, part A. The length of a hailstone sequence is the number of terms it contains. For example, the hailstone sequence has a length of 6 and a hailstone sequence. Okay, write the method, which returns the length of the hailstone sequence. Did they give us any other methods? There may be others, but we don't know what they are. Okay, so there's no other methods I'm supposed to use in my response. I'm going to write public static int hailstone length int n. I'm putting the header. I don't know if you have to have the header and the opening and closing brackets or if you could just start with the body. I'm not going to use tab like I just did. I'm going to use spaces. Okay. To determine the length of a hailstone sequence starting at n, I'm going to have to generate the sequence, put it into an array maybe, and then look at the size of the array. So I'm going to make an array list of integers called sequence. How about HS? H sequence. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to generate the sequence. You probably don't have to. You could probably just count. Yeah, maybe we could just count. Okay, so int num terms. It's got to have at least one term because it's a number to start with. If it's the number 1, then it'll just be that. Okay, while. Now, how about current term gets n. Okay, while. I wouldn't use a for loop because I don't know how many terms it's going to be. While n is greater than 1. Uh-oh, they're telling me to submit my response now because I only have 5 minutes left. But this is a really short demo for what would be normally a 25-minute question. But you can see how the timer started, it turned red, and so my total of 10 minutes was really only 5 minutes to work and 5 minutes of time to upload. But I'm going to just try to put a little more flesh to this thing. I don't know if it'll work, but let's see. While n is greater than 1, I want to, well, I'm going to have to increment the counter every time I successfully do something in this loop so that I'm getting, and I'm going to have to return, since I want to return the length of the hailstone, I'm going to return that variable, some terms. So I think I got some points just for this, even if I haven't checked anything or generated any actual terms. Okay, so the current term, we'll say if current term, now here's where I implement the algorithm. If the current term is 1, I'm just going to say, well, then it will stop the loop, so I don't need to include that because it won't go through here. So if the current term is even, which means I have to test it for mod 2 is equal to 0. This means even. Okay. What am I going to do? Then I'm going to, okay, else if the current, well, if the current term is not even, then it's got to be odd. So I don't even need to include a check for whether it's odd. So here's what goes in my structure. If the current term is even, notice I'm using spaces, then I'm going to divide by 2. So current term divide equals 2. If the current term is odd, then current term gets 3 times current term plus 1. And we increment how many terms we have. Let's see. So the current term is getting updated. And this is num terms. No, while the current term is greater than 1, that would be helpful. Okay, I only have 2 minutes left to submit. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna check this over. Let's see. So, well, this is a pretty decent, good part A. Oh, I got a label. This is part A of my answer. So don't forget to label your answers. I mean, the reader could probably figure out from that I put the method header that this is part A, but okay, I'm just trying to work really quickly here. So I think I'll do part B as question 2 of this mock exam. So let me just think about this. I got 1 minute left. Let me try to copy this whole thing, go back to here, paste response into here, check it out. Does it look the same as I typed it pretty much? Okay, is it perfect? I don't know. I don't even have time to think about it, but I've got some major stuff going on. I've got a counter. I'm returning that counter. I'm put the logic of checking what kinds of terms it is. If it's 1, this is going to stop because 1 is not greater than 1, so it will not go on to another term. It didn't say I had to keep track of all the terms anywhere, so that's why I chose not to do the array list, but just to get the count of how many terms it has. I might be off by 1. My answer honestly could be off by 1, but I've got a lot going on here. I've got the modulus to check whether something is divisible by 2, which makes it even. Because if you mod by 2 and you get a 0, that means there was no remainder when you divided by 2. So that's modulus division. Dividing by 2, integer division. All right, so it would be nice if I could check my answer and be confident that it's right, but I'm going to submit it now anyway. Whew, I got it in before the timer ran out, just barely. Okay, question 1 is finished. Start work on question 2 now. Okay, whoa, time to move on. Part B. I'm going to open a new notepad and put my AP number. I should have done this first. Practice AP ID, page 2. I'm going to put part B. Okay, notice I didn't even save that other document. I probably should have, but okay, part B. Hailstone sequence is considered long if its length is greater than its starting value. For example, okay. So the method proplong returns the proportion of long hailstone sequences with starting values between 1 and n inclusive. Okay, so this is a method. Where's the method header? Oh, wait a minute. This part B is not actually asking me to write any code. The method proplong returns, okay. A programmer wishes to complete proplong method as described in the hailstone class definition so that it most efficiently returns the proportion of long hailstone sequences with starting values between 1 and n inclusive. Most efficiently, okay. Write a description of how you would design the proplong method. You may assume that the methods, hailstone length and isLong sequence, work as specified. We did not write isLong sequence. Okay, but we can assume that it would work. So this is like the open-ended type of question. Identify. You may assume that the methods work and return data as shown in the table. Make sure to include the following. Write the method header. The method header be as follows. Okay. Did they tell us what kind of method it's supposed to be? Here it is. Proplong, public static double. Proplong, the portion of long sequences. Okay. Okay. Identify any existing methods in the hailstone class that would be useful in designing and implementing the proplong method. Do not write program code for this change. Okay, so is there a method that we already have that could be useful as a copy-paste, reuse the code but change something? So the proportion of long sequences, that's going to have to iterate through getting the length of each sequence from 1 to n. The isLong sequence would have to tell if something is a long sequence, you would just have to get its length and, okay, so I'm going to say to write the algorithm, the body of the method, I would need a loop to iterate, well, I'm going to use, I'm going to keep this all in one small space here by pressing enter. to iterate through the sequences generated for all the numbers from 1 to n. As inside the body of the loop, I would need to make a call to the isLongSequence method for each sequence based on the value of n. If the value returned from isLongSequence method is greater than n, then I need to increment a counter to keep track of the number of long sequences. After the loop is complete, I would return a quotient of total of n divided by, no, of the counter compared to n. So counter divided by n would give the proportion of sequences that is long. Okay, let's see. I did not use a previous method and modify it. I just described how I would create the body of this method and how I used other methods in the class to implement this algorithm. But this is an open-ended answer. I wrote it in my own words. I described what I would do in detail. I didn't write the code. I didn't write the actual body of the loop or the header of the loop or anything like that, but I described my variable. Maybe I'd want to say, to write the body of the method, I would create and initialize a counter variable to keep track of the number of long sequences. I'll put this up here to keep track of the number of long sequences. Then I would need a loop to iterate through the sequences generated for all. To iterate through, I'll just put from 1 to n. Inside the body of the loop, I would need to make a call to the isLongSequence method, sending n as the parameter or argument. If the value returned is greater than n, then I need to increment the counter, which I had mentioned earlier. I like this wording better. It's more kind of linear. What I did first I create the counter, initialize it to 0. Okay, I think I am ready with this answer. This is only part B, but I only had 10 minutes. So really, I've completed parts A and B of this question in 20 minutes. And now I'm going to upload this one. Here, paste response. There we paste. Does it look okay? Looks okay. All right, if I made a mistake, I could clear the field and it would wipe everything out. Don't forget to put the AP ID at the top. I don't know if you need a page number, but don't put your name. You put your AP ID. Okay, and I only have 35 seconds left, but I'm going to submit anyway because I'm ready. That's the best I could do in this short amount of time, and that is how you should approach this exam. Confidence in what you did do. Don't worry about if you didn't get it perfect. Can't be perfect in this, okay? So here we go. All right, my demo is complete. Now, maybe you could take my results and check them against what the canonical solution is in the Edpuzzle that I am posting, because they are going to go over the answer to this hailstone question in that video. So I hope this has been informative and helpful to, if you're going to take the exam, maybe how to set yourself up for success. And I'm rooting for you. Remember, if you need anything, print it out because you don't have the capability of that. Let me know. I didn't actually use my Java quick reference because it's my second year with Java. I kind of know most of my Java syntax, but I had it there at hand just in case. Okay, so good luck with the next question that I've posted for you. And goodbye. Have a good weekend. Hey students, I am back and I'm going to be kind of adding this onto the end of my last video. Hopefully I can stitch them together. I just wanted to let you know, after I took the demo, I went to the review video and I watched it and I evaluated my own response. And I realized as I was doing so that there's a couple of things that might have been confusing about my video if you happen to watch it. So if you're still with me, that's a good thing because I'm just going to clear some things up. First of all, in the demo tool, they were only giving me 10 minutes to do the first question, and I only had one question in front of me that had two parts. It had the A part and the B part. The A part was like writing a free response code answer, and then the B part was like an open-ended question. Now, this was just a demo, so if it was the real test, you would have 25 minutes to do that entire thing, part A and B, and you would put both of them in the same document, copy and paste into the space. Do not do what I did, which was to split up part A and treat that like question 1 and part B like question 2. You must completely answer the entire question that is given under question 1, and it may have multiple parts. Okay, so I didn't want anybody to be confused by that. So here I am sitting on the demo again, and I think like after I finish this explanation here, I am going to show something I meant to do, but I didn't do, which was to basically upload different types of answers. So the way I did it was always with a notepad open. I copied and pasted into the answer space, and it seemed to work just fine. The formatting was good and everything. But I would like to try out the text file attachment as well, and I would like to try the handwritten photo upload as well. So I'm going to do that. And for now, I'm going to just pause it for a second because it doesn't let the timer run out, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so the demo is running again. Let's say that I had, worked on this question and I have my part A ready to upload. So this was like my first question. Now, of course, if it's the real exam, you may have part A, B, maybe even part C, all of the same question need to be done in the first 25 minutes. May not just be one single part. But let's just say that whatever it is that I have done, I am going to try the photo upload. So here I have my camera from my phone ready, and this is going to be something that I need to do as quickly as possible. It said, when you do a photo upload, try to make sure that there's nothing around the page, make it nice and clear. So I am putting my paper on the desk with like darkness surrounding it, and I'm taking a photo with my phone. Okay, and then I'm going to take that photo and I'm going to email it to myself from my phone. So let's see, mail. Email it to my work email so that I can get it on my computer. Okay, sending the photo. It looks pretty clear. They say you should try to hold up your picture, your paper, and take a photo like this so that you have no shadows, but I think my photo on my phone came out pretty good, so I went ahead and sent that to myself. Now, I am going to go in my email. Okay, there it is. Going to download that to my computer. My desktop, let's just say. I'm going to say question 1, JPEG. Okay, it's got to be an image file if I'm doing handwriting. Okay, there it is. Get out of my email, back to the exam. Oh gosh, where's it? Okay, the exam is still going, the timer's still going. Let's see. It says time left to submit work, 5:44. Okay. So, question 1 is here. Okay, I'm going to do this, attach response. Attach response. Attach photo. Okay. Requirements, blah, blah, all right. Click on a thumbnail to see photo submissions. Wait a minute. Attach photos. Is it not letting me try this? Attaching a photo? Oh, here's the button down at the bottom. Attach a photo. Okay. From my desktop, because it was easy place to find it. Question 1. Open. Okay, I don't see it anywhere, but I think I did it. Continue. Let's see, did it show my photo? Okay, there it is. If I scroll up, it now shows question1.jpg is attached. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to see if I could also attach, no, you can, if you're attaching photos, you can only attach photos. Okay, so this would be question 1. Now, when the time runs out, I will try attaching a text file so that I've tried all the different possibilities. You should do this at home too, just get used to it. Okay, for now, I'm going to pause the video because I have to let the time run out. Okay, there's still 2 minutes and 35 seconds left, but I'm going to try just submitting. It says do not submit until you've attached all your photos. All right, so if there was a part B on a separate page that I was going to submit as a photo, which is highly likely because each question may have multiple parts, then I would do that first, then finally submit. Right now I'm just submitting. Okay, I still have to wait. While I'm waiting, I want to talk to you about my answer that I had put together really quickly on the spot as I was trying to solve the problem. This open-ended part B, when I answered it, I noticed afterwards that I did make one mistake that I think I probably would have lost a point on. And that is, I said, if the value returned from isLong sequence is greater than n, then I would increment the counter. When in fact, I should have just said, if the value returned from isLong sequence is true. Because isLong sequence is a Boolean method. It would return true if the thing is long and false if it's not long. So I didn't have to check whether the length is greater than n. That is done inside isLong sequence. So I was wrong on that, and I probably would have lost a little something. I still think I did pretty good for, being under the pressure of the time, and you will have the same kind of experience. You may not do everything perfect, but you'll probably get a lot of it right. And that's maybe you guys caught that the first time I was doing it. But anyway, so now I'm going to save this. And when it comes time for question 2, I'm just going to attach it as a text file to try that. Because now I've tried the copy paste method, I've tried the photo attachment, and then I'll finally try attaching as a text file. Okay, so I'm moving on to part 2 of the demo, which would give me another 10 minutes. But in your regular exam, it's probably going to give you another 15 minutes plus 5 minutes to upload. So that would be a total of 20 minutes for the second question, which may have multiple parts. That's why I don't want you to get confused. Don't separate the parts and submit part A for question 1 and then think you're going to wait and submit part B. No, there can be multiple parts to each question. So here I'm going to try the attach response for a text file. Okay, browse for file. Okay, where did I put it? I put it under documents, Hailstone part B, because I'm treating it like question 2. So here is my, let's see, did it attach? Submit? Oh wait, cancel. There it is. Okay, Hailstone. So you want to wait till it pops up here under the text file and photo options. Now I can submit. It says you won't be, okay, then my demo is complete. So, really think you should all try out all these options and decide what your favorite method is. Do you want to copy paste? Do you want to write by hand and take a photo, upload it? Do you want to take a text file and attach it? You cannot attach an image of typed text. If you're going to do a photo, it must only be for handwritten work on the paper. Okay, so I think that's enough detail, and I think I cleared up the couple things that I had done wrong in the first try. Okay, take care.